What is going on, guys? And welcome. We're going live right now. Going to talk about the wild and crazy day that we had in crypto. Okay. And I think just outside of crypto politically, this is one for the ages. A lot of people are out there saying that they are, what you would say, disappointed the first time in their lives as being an American. This is going to be an interesting one. Okay. So we'll talk about what's going on. We'll break it down as you guys filter into this live stream. Make sure you guys hit those thumbs. Let YouTube know that we are live. If you're watching over on X, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you give me a follow. And yeah, let me know who's in the chat. Let's get this discussion going. I'm going to open up to you guys as well. We're going to kind of get a back and forth. Ask me questions. We'll get into the bullet points as we look and break down a lot of the posts on X as we look into this debacle. Okay, so Elon Musk, the Doge father, and Daddy Trump. It's a very interesting kind of back and forth that we're having, to say the least. And they're talking about it on every major media outlet. In the chat, as you guys all filter in, we will be going live for as long as this takes us. Okay, and I'm going to try to figure out something right now with my internet connection, try to bolster that. But if you guys are having any problems on your end, let me know. Jeremy, what's up, brother? H-bar, yeah, we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about coins and stuff a little bit later on, but welcome into the chat. Appreciate you. H-bar is a very, very highly, I think right now, this is not financial advice, obviously, but I just got off some phone calls. A lot of people are reeling. They're thinking that crypto is going by the wayside. They're hitting that panic sell button, right? So you go on your apps, you go on your phones, and you start hitting that panic button, and that's kind of what we're getting into. We're going to talk about that as well. Let me pull up my screen for you guys, get kind of the discussion going. We'll dive into the crypto bubbles, and you can see kind of what we're doing here on the chart as we look at it. And as you can imagine, it is a sea of red, right? Apparently the word impeachment kind of has that kind of effect on people. Okay, but we got a lot of people watching. Who all is live? Let me know what you guys are up to. Say hello in the chat. We'll try to get this one going. And yeah, so H-bar, as we talked about, down 4.7%. We're not going to make this too crypto specific, but we are going to talk about kind of what we're seeing here, kind of overall. And first and foremost, the posts on X. Okay, that's going to be a big one that we are going to get into. I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm working with within that, and you can see kind of what we have going on. And there is a whole slew of it. Okay, so if you guys are following along on X, make sure you give me a follow and whatnot. But Elon Musk, it's been crazy, right? And this is where you're seeing just a reckless abandon to posting things live. You're seeing some crazy stuff. Look at the poll just pinned 3 hours ago. Is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents 80% of the middle? Okay, and just crazy how he owns this monopoly of a social media and a news outlet device, what we call X. Already 2.2 million views in just 3 hours time. And the kind of I guess you would call it the earth-shattering one is the reason why we're saying that the Jeffrey Epstein files have not been released. A lot of people talking about the fact that it's because, and you can see right here from Trump or from Elon's tweet, okay, as we find it. And this is what you're going to see on your screen right here. This is kind of mind-blowing. You're not going to find this I don't think anybody on Fox News will be publishing this, but real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason why it has not made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Okay, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. I don't know. You guys tell me. What are your thoughts on this? This is kind of a first for me. It's kind of something I've never thought, how polarizing this could be. And I will tell you guys one thing. If you're into the meme world, buckle up because they are just going to be beginning tonight. So get your Solana ready because they are going to be rifling out these meme coins to kind of piggyback off of this narrative. Okay. And that's just one of them. Okay. And the list goes on and on and on. This is all kind of in response to the Great American Bill, or whatever the official name of it is. But as we all know, Elon Musk now not kind of stepping away from Doge. Maybe there was something more to that behind the scenes. We're seeing some of this stuff too. Donald Trump talking about saving money in our budget, which was the premise of Doge in the first place. But to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contract, I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. I mean, I have small children, and this is something that's looking very eerily similar to what I kind of have to put out the fires of every single night. You guys tell me. I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are. Outside of Jeremy, no one has posted into the comments. If you guys are watching on X or on YouTube, make sure you guys all kind of leave a little comment. Let me know what you guys, where you guys are watching in from as well. Let's get this comments box fired up. Okay. And this is going to be something that we're going to be talking about for days, and I hope not. As we look at kind of what we're seeing here on the bubbles, you can look down the top 100, see how the markets are reacting. Bitcoin's on the verge of going down below 100,000. This has been a long time that we have not seen kind of that $100,000 mark. I mean, we have to go back and date pretty much to, when was the last time we hit it? This would be May 9th. Okay, so we have to go back almost a month before we hit this $100,000 level for BTC. A little bit deeper onto that, I mean, Ethereum's kind of holding on, 2,400. So that's kind of much flat. We are starting to see in the last hour markets are reacting. And never tell you guys to buy or sell crypto, but I will say this is one of those kind of clearance on aisle threes, as I tweeted earlier. You know, I talked to a few people on the phone. People let me know about this news, asking me what I'm doing, all that good stuff. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people are running to the window and they're cashing out, they're hedging, they're getting out of crypto. This is just too much. That's the beauty of it too. The strong will survive. I know it's kind of cliche at best, but whether it be a geopolitical conflict or just some kind of cat and mouse pillow fight that we're getting between two of the wealthiest people in the world, and most powerful and influential people, I should say. I'm not really sure how Donald Trump's wealth stacks up against the other world players, but Elon, you know, it's the richest man in the world going against the most powerful man in the world. It's kind of funny at face value, but if you are holding some of these bags that are decreasing as time goes on, not so much. But for me, let's just let this keep going. I think that a lot of times we get these flash crashes and we get some reactions to what's going on in the news. I mean, look at me, for example. I'm going live. I don't quite frankly go live every day, but it's a reason to go live. All right. Yeah, Nelson, I'm with you, man. It is definitely so childish. And I don't know how else to compare it. This is like, you know, you're trying to put your kids to bed and they're having a pillow fight or something. That's basically the closest example that I have to what we're seeing here on national television. Okay. Jeremy's reining in from BC up there. So the Prince George area. Yeah, 260,000 H-bar at the moment. Shout out to you. Congrats on that. It's something where you have to kind of understand where we're at. And one thing I'll put in perspective to you, and I wish there was some way that I could add filters. If you guys know how to do this, please let me know. But I would love to incorporate the news headlines into this chart because we always talk about buying the dips, right? That's the most probably used word out there in crypto is called buying the dips. Well, here we are, guys. Look at Bitcoin since dating back to 2023 in this increase that we have had. I mean, this is roughly a little bit over 2 years now. And you can talk about kind of the ascension, but along this road, okay, and I know I have my trading indicator up here kind of giving me some noise, but along this road that we've been on since 2023, please keep in mind what actually this means, okay? This is not just, hey, crypto's awesome. We're just going to buy crypto and send it over 100,000, okay? We're looking at a 2-year time period where crypto has more than 5x'd, and putting it all in perspective, there's probably been 5 to 15 events from a macro standpoint that has left the market's kind of in the situation that we are in right here, right now, okay? And that's just being honest. I don't know how to put tags up on this chart, but there was a way that you guys know how to do that. Let me know. But there is definitely a way to do it. And, you know, if we can manually do it, obviously I can draw circles. But just for argument's sake, I will put one right here. Okay, this will be the correction pullback, the red candle representing the Donald Trump and Elon Musk pillow fight. Okay. And as we kind of say, oh shit, and, take a step back and we're talking about it right now, I guarantee you one thing, other people and other nations are laughing. They're laughing at what this scene is. And quite frankly, they're probably buying crypto, if we're just being honest with ourselves. Okay. So as we keep going, guys, fire up the comments. We have 60 people live here in the chat. We'll probably grow that number as we keep on going. But I wanted to share with you guys some of the tweets and the commentary that's going on. We will go back to X and kind of fire up some of these posts, because this is kind of where the main attraction is. And you won't see this on Fox News. You might see it on CNN. But as we look into this, right, talking about kind of the Trump war room here, post from him and live on Fox News. That's all they're talking about. I mean, we have the NBA Finals tonight, and everybody's going to be talking about Trump and Elon going toe-to-toe. And I think this is personally maybe over the Epstein files. Most of the world is thinking it's over the budget, does not agree with what we have basically been doing. And I think that the way that the tax cuts are, the way that raising the ceiling has kind of led Elon astray. That's pretty much been the big story. So can't control Donald Trump. That's what Elon's finding out. And personally, I have to be honest with you guys. I think this is I don't know who threw the first punch. If you guys know, please let me know in the comments. But just calling a spade, this is, I think, Elon. Elon, for some reason, has kind of posed this aggression. And there is an interesting kind of conspiracy theory we'll get to a little bit later on in this live stream. It's something that I did read, and I'm going to do some more reading about it tonight. But let me know what you guys think down below in the chat. We'll talk about Nelson is firing up some comments, and we're going to be talking about, believe in your heart that it will be salvaged one way or another. There are a lot of good things out there for regular people, and that is my biggest problem for the future, is who's going to pay for this. Well, I'm assuming you're American, but if you have been American for your entire life, and at least my lifespan, so we want to date back almost 40 years, just to put in perspective for you guys, nobody pays for it, and we always find a way to just keep passing the buck down the road, keep paying it forward, if you will. So I think this is something where you look at kind of what's went on, and this is not out of the ordinary. Whether it was the Biden administration, whether it was the Trump administration, it is what it is. But I think that it's the same song and dance, right? Everybody wants to get their way through Congress. They want to kind of crowd fund the money. I think Elon had a little bit of a thing to say about it, as he does not believe in spending all that wasteful money. And that's all fine and dandy when we're talking about all these organizations that don't really, quite frankly, have a chance, I guess you would say, right? Not to single out one or the other, but some of that reckless spending, right? Renting out stadiums, just some of the money given to, all these far-fetched research studies in different nations. We're not going to go down the political rabbit hole, but you kind of have to kind of digest this. But this is going to be more crypto-centric. We are going to talk about some of these tweets because they do represent kind of what we're seeing here in the market. Just flashing back to it, guys. We're going to keep following the hourly as we have turned green. So as Raiders Rumble is saying in the chat, perfect time to buy with the dip. I'm not going to tell you guys to ever buy or sell crypto, but I will just kind of spell it out for you. The market manipulation that goes on with these big major headlines. And that's kind of why I wanted to put those attachments to my chart somehow. If there's some way to incorporate, I'm pretty sure that CoinMarketCap does it. But if there's some way to incorporate it in my trading view, I'd love to do that, where, whether it be the Fed raising interest rates or lowering interest rates, whether it be some, Russia, Ukraine, just some way to tag certain events, definitely when we have these like conflicts. It's very fascinating to kind of see unfold. Okay. Here we go. Nelson, do you have one? Have a good point. Thank you. And you are right. The only one who didn't have a deficit was Clinton. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm old CRS. And I'm assuming that you're correct, but it does not matter really regime by regime, in my opinion. I think that if we look back the test of time, that deficit and ceiling has risen regardless. And if you want to just kind of pause it for a 4-year, hey, we didn't grow, we're not owing more money for 4 years. It's still just not, I don't think it has reduced it significantly enough that it actually matters. So kind of keep that one in mind. It's all kind of nothing in my personal opinion. But yeah, in the last hour, markets have rebounded. We're going to talk about kind of what I'm looking at. The interesting thing about it though is when this stuff happens, guys, as traders, keep in mind, it's not always buy the dip, right? I think that you have to kind of understand is I kind of personally, and this is my strategy, what I do, when shit hits the fan, I look for cryptos and stocks and any kind of asset that does not really budge, right? I don't want to see the GD, the flighty, right? The one that does have volatility, unless you're trying to buy something on discount. But I'm looking at the ones that remain unfazed, and that kind of tells more of the story, in my personal opinion, on kind of what's at stake and where cryptos are actually supposed to organically be. So that's kind of where I stand. And jumping off the page at me on the day is probably going to be most notably, we kind of look at the movers on the day. This is the great way to do it here. You can kind of even look at it, and I will sort this so you guys can see it. But we're looking at outside of Fartcoin and Monero that are actually up on the day, which is shocking. But look at some of the strengths that we've seen through weakness, right? And you can see kind of here, the ones that are barely down, obviously your stable coins won't be moving, but we talk about Tron, that's probably the winner out of the ones that are lower or that are higher up in market cap. We talk about kind of some of the other big ones here. Kronos down only 2.8%, Caspa. So a lot of that does tie into to the volume that we are seeing with those cryptos, right? If they're down a short period, down a short stint, they probably weren't going to be up a short stint either if we were up. So please keep that in mind. XDC, very interesting. And obviously Bitcoin, the most unfazed, as the alts were reacting a little bit more so than others. But HBAR, XRP, two of the ones that we do talk about a lot, kind of not too shabby. Yeah, I know it's a day where we're down, but when you talk and say the word impeachment, it almost makes you think that, okay, guys, we're headed for some shit here. Okay. But King in the chat, let's see what he has to say. I bet that Elon starts his own Bitcoin reserve. Tesla and X again. Bitcoin is going to blow up in the near future. These childish games will cause him to do this. Well, I agree and I disagree. The only thing I have about that is it would have just Elon kind of has some both of these guys have very significant egos. Okay. So in my opinion, if Elon does it, it's because Trump's doing a Bitcoin reserve and he wants to go toe to toe with them. And vice versa, it's going to be kind of that first to the moon kind of viewpoint, I think, in Elon's head. I think that's how his brain functions. Very competitive, wants to be first, wants to be best, and have the most say. And I think that's kind of where you look into this situation. That's kind of what I think will take place. And it's going to be kind of like, oh, you want to do this? Well, I can do it better. That kind of, the old Michael Jordan, Mia Hamm commercial. I think that's going to be what we're going to be seeing. So, but appreciate you guys tuning in on X and on YouTube. And if you have not done so, man, hit that subscribe, hit that like button, follow me on X, all that good stuff. We're going to be talking crypto as we've been doing for years now. Nothing's changed. We're seasoned traders, and we've been doing this so long that this is almost just kind of I kind of welcome this stuff. It's actually a little bit more exciting, right? The majority of the crypto that I do hold that I'm not trading on volatility, this kind of just adds a little intrigue, right? And if I can get a 10% discount on some of the big boys that maybe you missed out on, maybe you didn't buy enough, maybe you're waiting for a paycheck to kind of add to your bags, this kind of gives you that clearance price, that sale price. If because outside of the big money that can trade, substantially on futures, I'm talking tens of millions of dollars at a clip. We're all retail, in my personal opinion, and anything that you see elsewhere, it's just kind of, I guess you would say, it's just for show. That's just kind of how I feel it. But Elon can't compete with the government cash. Well, it's kind of interesting. That one is a little bit, I guess you'd say that has a lot of edges to it, that comment, because in a way he can, because, you know, there are executive orders and Trump can do what he wants to do, but there's a limit. There's a line. Elon, based on principle, could run his businesses and bankrupt himself and run it into the ground, and no one really can tell him no. Trump has a little thing called Congress to worry about, and I think that as childish as this may seem, I do have to get into the next talking point that we're going to get into very shortly. I will pull that up for you guys so you can see on your end. But very interesting, to say the least. Okay. And yeah, this is basically spot on, man. Was only going to buy one coin this weekend. Now I'm buying 5 coins. Got to believe Ada, Ondo, Sui, Link, and Tau. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And I actually got mad at my one friend because I really, truly want to see everybody win. Okay. And this is kind of why, you know, I could have, I got plans tonight, but I wanted to squeeze in this live to talk to you guys about kind of where my head's at, because we've all been here before. And I never tell you guys to buy or sell crypto, but this is something very important, because I got mad at my one buddy because he literally just read a news headline and just started dumping shit. It just, and you know, when I first started trading crypto, you are kind of trying to, I guess you'd say, build your wallets. You're trying to accumulate. You're trying to grow. You're trying to see year over year return and growth in your portfolios. And you know, unfortunately, in some form or fashion, you have to lose before you can win. And I guess half the reason why I do this whole stuff on X and YouTube is because A, I have a passion for it. B, I like talking. And C, I've been wrecked. So if there's anything we can do to kind of win and all win together, this is just the only way that I know how to do it, other than within my small circle. So let's keep it going. Raiders Rumble, is XRP legit? Seems like everyone, government's piling in with win over SEC. Piling in as in buying more? Is that what you're trying to say? I will pull up the XRP chart. That's what a lot of people are concerned about. Obviously, this is a channel where we talk XRP a lot. Okay. Yeah. So this is kind of this is what I've been working on, what I've been kind of alluding to, as if you watch my XRP stuff, and I'll kind of zoom in so you guys can see what we're talking about. All right. It's hard to explain, I guess, at face value. I'm going to pull your comment off for a second. Okay. And that's kind of where you look into XRP being legit. Well, I kind of did a video on that today talking about it. And what we have going on is the Ripple unlocks the escrows, and, you know, it adds really to kind of that supply. So it does throw a lot of people off. But I think that the one thing with Ripple and XRP that does kind of give me pause is how reliant they are on the US government, how afflicted they became once the SEC court case was underway. I don't think all cryptos would have reacted in that manner. And as I talk about XRP a lot, I get the gist of kind of what's going on behind the scenes. It does, and I actually am mad at myself for not getting out to that XRP convention in Las Vegas. I will be going to the next one. I can guarantee you guys that, because I saw a lot of the comments and I guess you would say content coming out from that event, and I was really intrigued, and I just want to get a taste of it. So I'm going to be there next year. But the thing that I'm going to keep telling you guys here as we're following on screen, XRP is, all of crypto is being bought by the government. All of crypto was always being bought by the government. All of crypto was always being bought by the banks. Okay, so these ETFs, whatever, we're just allowed to talk about it publicly now. It's very hush hush, but all we're doing is we're putting it out in the open. We're making it easier. We're making it, you know, more accessible for the mom and pop traders out there that, quite frankly, maybe not even know what crypto is. The thing with XRP, though, is the potential they have. You're not going to get the the meme coin traders and they're just buying XRP because they believe in it, right? In some way, XRP kind of dethrones crypto. It's in its own category. It's transactional. It's not a store of value. It's to this point, it's kind of had a different purpose. It really hasn't even got to do anything in the real world yet. They've simulated transactions on the ledger. But I think that the thing is with XRP is, and I tell everybody this, it's a crypto that I can't afford to miss out on. I don't care who's buying it. I don't care what the mindset is behind it, but I can't afford to miss out on XRP. So if you watch my stuff every single day, I'll never tell you guys to buy, but XRP at $2 or below, that is basically where we my truck is not a full-size cab, but for all you crew cab owners out there, you know what I'm talking about. You got to fit what you got to fit in it. And if you can buy this much, buy this much. And that's kind of how I feel about it. So whatever I have available to buy XRP, I kind of treat it as such, and that's separate from my other crypto holdings, right? XRP for me is a long-term play. It's a play where if I buy XRP at $2 and in 5 years from now, it's worth $1, I am not going to be mad. I could quite frankly care less. I think that this is more so just a play on the what ifs, and we'll probably never use XRP in our lifetime. Just being honest with you guys, you probably will never use it in our lifetimes. But the speculation, the FOMO, the demand, if XRP somehow replaces Swift banking, if we do see XRP kind of find its footing in government, in similar to what we've seen with Bitcoin, and whatever you want to talk about. And I just think that for all the maxis out there, and I've met a few of them, that they just think that you have to really have a conversation with them. I don't want to compare it to what I want to compare it to. I'm not a maxi in any shape, form, or fashion. But if you ever had a conversation with a Bitcoin maxi, you come off either feeling really bullish about altcoins, or you're scared to death to look at your wallets. And it really is polarizing to a point where you almost don't want to be or partake in crypto. So keep that in mind. If you do have a chance, go to the Bitcoin convention, go to one of the pre-parties, after parties, start talking about XRP, start talking about HBAR, start talking about Cardano, and you will find yourself in some very interesting conversations fast. And I think a lot of people will be very surprised, to say the least. Okay. Appreciate it, King. Let's get into some comments here. Guys, fire away. Let's get this discussion going. We're going to get back into some tweets. We want to talk more about this. So I'd love to keep this chat going. We'll not go past 8 o'clock. That is when the NBA finals are on. So the crypto trading will be on the background. We will be watching Pacers Thunder. Gotta love that. Appreciate it, King. Yeah. We're trying to grow out here. So on the path to 20,000 subscribers. Can't do without you guys. So what do we got going on here? 4 years straight buying. That's awesome. Yeah, that's never a bad thing. I will tell you guys one thing. The crypto that I have sold, I can tell you this, in 4 years later, it's crypto that I wish I never sold, regardless of the price, regardless of the profit. I just quite frankly wish I never sold. That's a big red candle there for XRP. Big red candle. So we are seeing a little bit of a downtick here as XRP is now dipped below $2.10. So that will be kind of fascinating to watch unfold. What do you guys want to hit next? You want to talk coins? You want to talk kind of what we have going on? Crypto's dumping bad, but this is kind of where you're seeing it. It's not November, but we're getting a little taste of Black Friday early, and point in turn. And it's not, I will tell you guys kind of a very interesting way that I do do trade crypto. And I wish I had a way to kind of have a way to kind of wait for that day. I'll get into it in a sec. I have to send a message right here. Okay, so what we're seeing here, yeah, we will get to Ismail. We will get to Cardano here. very shortly. This is something where I'm going to talk about kind of what I was alluding to a little bit earlier. Okay. And I'd be curious. I'd be very curious. And if anybody has some insight into it, if I just had like a disposable bag, the problem with crypto is when you have money on the sidelines, you cannot pass. It's very hard to keep that money on the sidelines. You want to get right back in the market. We're active, we're trading. We want to kind of just dive in. But the one thing I'll tell you guys, you have to understand that the one hesitancy I have, and we don't all have insane disposable incomes, right? I understand that you got to put food on the table, you got to put gas in the car, you got to live your life. But the one thing that I wish since I started trading crypto was that I had almost a piggy bank or a reserve net where every single time we got some shitty kind of situation came across the news, or some macro event, or some geopolitical conflict, or the richest man in the world having a pillow fight with the most influential person in the world, or powerful person in the world. Okay, I wish that there was you had that rainy day fund where you could just back up the truck. And I'm not talking about reshuffling where you're out of positions. I'm talking about just add to your position, because I think we worry about so much about buying at the top, buying at the bottom, right? Timing the market. And I think that's a horrible thing to do. Crypto is so reactionary to macro events and major news headlines. And I think that it might be a nice strategy moving forward, just to kind of have those rainy day funds for days like today where shit hits the fan, markets tumble. And right now, instead of worrying about, for XRP's up on your screen, so we'll use it as an example, okay? But instead of worrying about when XRP is kind of at this midline at around 235, and you're like, okay, we're going to break out from here, or are we going to dump? We're right at that cross between moving averages, and you got a lot of technicals in your head kind of just throwing you off. And instead of just trying to flip a coin and be right and, trust data, just wait for days like these, because we've probably had, like I said, 5 to 15 of them, I think, across the board, cumulative, throughout the calendar year. So that's kind of where I'm at. So Ismail is holding 160,000 Cardano at the moment. Okay. So that would put you roughly about 108,000. Am I right? Something like that. No, that would be 122,000 USD. That's a pretty big bag of Cardano, relatively speaking, and more than I have. I will tell you that. I won't tell you how much I have, but that's more than I have. When will Cardano hit $2? Okay. When will pigs fly? That's kind of the problem with price predictions and this crypto game, right? We don't have that crystal ball. And quite frankly, I'm just being honest with you, man. I don't know where you're watching from, but I'm not here to make or break people in terms of them making money. Okay. So kind of what I'm talking about, and the reason why I'm saying that is if I tell you when Cardano is going to hit $2 and it doesn't, that's my fault. I can't do that. I won't tell you to buy or sell. I can give price predictions based on analysts, based on what other people say. But the thought I'm trying to get across to you is you have to make those decisions for yourself. And I unfortunately bought Cardano, and I probably spent more money than you spent buying Cardano, just being honest, because I bought it at $3. And I bought it, earlier than that, but I dumped the clip at around $3. So that's kind of, in some form or fashion, been my best trade and my worst trade. It kind of taught me and made me a lot more money, but in the short term, back at that point in my life, it kind of lost me a lot of money. So to kind of answer your question, after I got a little off track, when will Cardano hit $2? That depends. Or if the answer to the question is, do you care for an exit? Are you trying to exit at $2? I'm guessing that your entry point was a little bit lower then. I'm more concerned with Cardano hitting $1.20 again, personally. and right now we don't know what's going to happen. So I can't really tell you guys any kind of where my head's at. I know that in multiple years now, down the road from now, crypto will be, we're looking at XRP right now at 209. I don't really want to put a number on it, but I could bet everything I have that years from now, XRP will be more than 209. Okay. And as we look at kind of what we're seeing here with Bitcoin, right? Same thing goes for Bitcoin. Years from now, Bitcoin will be more than 100,000. And in that years from now, it may reach upwards of 500,000. But if you're concerned about that $2 ADA, I just don't know. Are you trying to get out at $2? Because there's going to be a lot of stops along the way as Cardano hits $2. And that's kind of where I'm at. But to kind of answer your question in a roundabout way, we will pull up the ADA chart and I'll kind of show you guys what I see. Obviously, I'm not trying to tell you when to buy or sell, but I will kind of want to see how we get out of this. So once all the dust settles and we clear the room and this kind of debacle goes away, we will kind of talk about it more so, I guess. But as we look at Cardano here on the yearly, okay, and we are flashing momentum up still on the daily, keep in mind. So I definitely think this is something where it's a short-term little hurdle at 62 cents. It's actually kind of holding pretty strong, only 6% down on the thoughts of impeachment. And it would have been down. Crypto was going to be down today regardless of what's going on right now. Some are getting hit harder than others. But like we talked about, this would take a pretty significant inflow to get past $1.30 for ADA. I don't think it'll be 2025, just being honest with you, for $2. Would not shock me if we got close, but that's going to be a very tough cycle. It would have to be something huge macro related that would push all crypto into crazy territory, if you want to talk relatively speaking. And just food for thought, if we go back in time, which I hate to do, but we look back at kind of when Cardano, the last time it was at $2, this was in November of 2021. So if you think that we will hit an altcoin season, if you think that we're going to kind of mirror 2020, 2021 numbers, that will be kind of where I could tell you with full confidence that it will do that once more. But without knowing kind of how all the dust settles, I mean, if Trump gets impeached and, we shift gears and rotate, God knows what will happen in the next 60 days. So I don't think that will happen, but I'm just saying worst case scenario. All right, here we go. We got to handle this one. We're getting some Pepe FUD. We're going to talk about that one. Okay. I warned everyone BS over, I don't know how to read that, over leverage and fake volume. That's pretty much every single crypto out there right now, honestly. The way that institutions have their foot in the door with a lot of top cryptos, the way the market manipulation is going on. It's not just Pepe. Pepe, I guess for me, as we look at Pepe, it's just a meme coin play. It's not like, I'm not like the Pepe holder, like Pepe to the moon. We're not, selling all of our altcoins and Bitcoin to buy Pepe. We're not treating it as such, but Pepe for me, it's just a trade. It's a trade and hold. Okay. And back when we used to talk about it before this explosion, I mean, Pepe was at the bottom consolidating for a very long time. Okay. And then, from where we were hitting back in February of 2024, which mind you, was just less than it was just a little bit over a year ago. Okay. That's almost a 20x in 2 years. There's no real stock out there. There's no traditional financial vehicle that can give you almost a 20x in less than a year. Okay. And that's just the nuts and bolts of it. So, for Pepe, as we're looking at a bigger trend here, this is just roughly speaking, but if Pepe ever gets back down to the 50602 and you're looking to trade crypto and hold crypto and you're not looking to exit for a long period of time, I don't think it's, I don't personally think it's foolish to be buying Pepe at this level. And I think that actually might be, the 50602. We bounced off of it every single time. We set new all-time highs off of that mark. And, even back in May, we did the same thing. And it's just, another major news headline where this could find us, kind of similar to what we saw back in September, October, before we took off from there and saw another uptick. Okay. And that, that's almost 200% in that short period of time. So yeah, crypto is volatile, and, devs are doing their thing. Teams are doing their thing. That's the name of the game. It doesn't matter if it's Pepe, if it's Bitcoin, if it's XRP. People are, getting into things and trading accordingly. And it's just the way the market moves. So you just got to learn how to be smart and not get affected by it as much. And I think that with Pepe, the volume, and all the people getting liquidated, all the longs out there, it does kind of, I kind of agree with your premise there. But kind of looking at this, if it does tank, like, is that a bad thing? Like, unless you're holding and you're not trading it, I mean, sure. All right, who else we got going on? I want to get it back into some more X stuff. We're gonna hit that back up. So we will put back on Twitter. We'll get kind of into it as we look at some more headlines there with Daddy Trump and Elon. Right now, Elon's Twitter page is a media frenzy, probably the most viewed thing in the world. Probably will get more views than the basketball game tonight, to be honest. But yeah, if you guys are watching and you haven't done so already, make sure you give me a follow on X, and please subscribe on YouTube as well. And we will talk about kind of some things that we have going on in the channel. I will put a link in the comments just so you guys can see. This is my link for BTCC. We're going to talk about that. If you guys want to start trading on that platform, please check them out. This is where you can find my promotion right now with them as an affiliate. 10% bonus you will get on your first time deposit, 40% lower trading fees. There is no VPN KYC necessary. So if you are looking for a new exchange and you want to start trading spot and leverage trading, go enjoy this bonus. And you also get up to 10,055 per user in extra bonuses for signing up. That is BTCC. Check them out. Make sure it's right for you. And if you want to start using that exchange, that link is in the comments and in the description of the video that we are talking about right now. So let's get back into kind of what we're seeing here with Elon's Twitter. I don't even know if you should call it Twitter anymore. I hate calling it X. And it's kind of like that, if you say tuner, Flickr, remote, like it's just kind of, you're so used to saying Twitter and everybody says it differently. So it's just kind of one of those things. I don't know if I'll ever get used to saying X versus Twitter. But I am going to kind of show you guys what's going on. So we'll put up some music, get some music going. If you guys don't like the music, please let me know. This is kind of what we'll do. Put it on the background, just kind of keep the vibe going. Oh, this is a good one. So yeah, leave a comment down below. Let me guys know in the comments, are you guys team Trump or team Elon? That's kind of the thing going viral right now. Which side are we going to be on? I actually will pull up a poll. I'll let you guys know. Yeah, so I did start that poll. That'd be kind of funny to see kind of the results. And let me go over to my page real quick so I can show you guys what we have going on there. Yeah, and if you guys are watching on X, make sure you share this stream out. Let's try to get some people flooded in here so we can keep this discussion going. And yeah, let's get into the stream. This is going to be something very interesting as we see this unfold. And you can see right here. Trying to find some fun stuff here. And you can see kind of right here, Donald Trump's account has been suspended on X. Violates the Twitter rules. So anybody who's ever got their account suspended. There you go. So there's going to be plenty of this. Tesla shares tumble as Musk-Trump feud escalates. Yeah, forget crypto, guys. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you to buy stocks, but I will tell you that Tesla is on my short list. So, oh boy. Something had to happen. Something had to happen. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Something had to happen. Just being real, something had to happen. Okay. And you can see kind of here this post from CNN, you know, Trump partying with Jeffrey Epstein. And then I did talk about kind of this. We'll just go through Elon's. It's just going to be easiest. You know, Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of the year. Boom. That's pretty much two words you don't want to say for the crypto markets never want to hear. They don't want to hear the word recession, and they don't want to hear the word impeachment. And guys, we've said them both. I'm going to change this title. For some reason, YouTube will not send my stuff out. It's really been a real big pain. I don't know whether they're censoring crypto stuff or what they're doing, but it has been very much a pain. But here you go. You can see kind of how this relationship has gone. Elon saying Trump should be impeached and JD Vance should replace him. He says yes. So Elon Musk calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump on one of the largest, if not the largest, social media platforms in the world. I can't wait for the Netflix documentary, guys. I got to be honest with you. I cannot wait for the Netflix documentary. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, my vote aside, this isn't what I voted for, but it is what it is. In some form or fashion, it probably is what I voted for. Here you can see right here, Elon, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. So goes on and on. I could play this sound from Fox News, but I think I will get a copyright infringement, so not going to do that. This is the one I'm worried about. And this is the impeachable offense if he is in the Epstein files. But, you know, I did see something earlier, too. We talked about kind of Elon's son and, you know, Donald Trump holding his, you know, so I don't know if I believe that. You know, I'm a father. I wouldn't let, if I knew about the Epstein files, and I don't know the timestamp on that, but I would not let my son around a man like that if that was true. So that might be just a little bit of a jab. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. This just gets better and better. Go ahead, make my ... Wow. Absolutely insane. Because if they do get rid of that government subsidies and contracts, the space station, I think, will get affected. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. Boy, I could bring some apprentice back to the forefront. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars. Nobody else wanted to do that. He knew for months that I was going to do, and he just went crazy. Such an obvious lie, so sad. I mean, I can't believe what we're looking at, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. I cannot believe what in the hell we're looking at. And I don't usually get fired up about, you know, the politics of things unless it's involving certain things that affect my family directly. But This is just the laughing stock of the United States. I just got to be honest with you. This is absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Well, I can tell you one thing. I hate to freaking say it, but we might be seeing a little Musk on the ticket here what about a Musk Bezos ticket in 2028? How about that? That's about as close as a capitalistic government as you can get. But would not shock me one bit if he ran for president. So there you go. You can see it right here. Are you Musk or Trump team? I don't know. This is something where, I hate to tell you guys this, and this is a little bit of the conspiracy tin hat in me. I actually can't wait for the Joe Rogan podcast about this. But Elon is just sounding off. I mean, he is definitely hitting his tweet limit. You can talk about kind of where we look into when did this actually start? When did this actually start? Let's try to find it. Well, it was more than 4 hours. When did the Twitter rampage start? You know what's crazy, though? I got to be honest with you guys. For Elon Musk to have so much power and responsibility, I know he says he doesn't sleep and all this, but where in the hell does he have time to tweet this much? I mean, I know he owns a damn company, but I'm just being honest with you guys. I have trouble tweeting. I wish I could tweet more. This is nuts. Absolutely nuts. But I appreciate you guys all tuning in. For those of you watching on X, I will tell you, I am looking at it right now. None of you guys chose to follow. So if you guys are following me, I appreciate it. But let's try to get those follows up. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you all hit those thumbs up. YouTube does not like my live streams. I just don't know why. Takes a lot to get people tuned into my lives. But yeah, what else you guys got? Yeah, there is no good choice. I mean, when has there ever been a good choice? I mean, seriously, look at the candidates. They've all been flawed. You can talk Al Gore. You can talk, Mitt Romney. Obama was flawed in my opinion. Biden was flawed in my opinion. I don't understand how Biden got elected. Trump was flawed in my opinion. It's just kind of one of the better two evils that you want to take. There's never been that candidate that, just kind of was perfect. It's just which will kind of bring more into the equation of things that you like versus things that you don't like. That's kind of how it goes. So, but yeah, Elon's Twitter is just an absolute field day. It's a frenzy. And I did see something. There is a lot of people calling out the conspiracy right here, saying that this is basically it's a coup. That's something where you're looking into. They're saying it's a coup. Little comic relief. For those of you guys that watch football, if you don't follow Antonio Brown on X, it's one of the best accounts out there. It's absolutely insane. But he posts some funny stuff. It's comic relief, especially in times like this. But Yeah, I got to be honest. I mean, this is kind of like, it's a bad look for Trump. And altcoin daily posting last chance to buy Bitcoin. We might be able to get some Bitcoin under 100,000. But I will tell you guys, this is kind of the tin hat kind of person in me. We have seen recently, within this all going on, there's people out there thinking that this is all kind of staged. They're thinking this is all staged. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think this is just something that they're just kind of putting out there for attention and that this was all part of the plan? Kind of curious what you guys think. See, this is kind of where a lot of people are saying this, that they're playing chess and they're trying to, I don't know what the goal would be, but they're trying to do this on purpose. And, we think that's really one of the only logical explanations I have, because there is no logic why this is happening. Maybe they're trying to just tank the markets and do something stupid, crazy. Wouldn't put it past either of these guys. Yeah. And that's basically what we would be kind of alluding to. Exactly. Market manipulation. I hate that word, but yeah, like, see, this is literally what could be going on right now. So let that digest a little bit and think about it. But yeah, let's get off the politics a little bit. You guys got any crypto stuff you want to talk about? Post it in the chat. Let's get this going. We're going to be closing up shop here shortly. Nothing really crazy is going to come out of this. They're going to just bicker back and forth. But I got to be honest with you guys, I kind of feel like we are being played a little bit. I know that's a little bit more of a conspiracy theory than probably more would have. But it goes on and on. Just recently, slim, beautiful bill for the win. Do I think Polkadot will go back up? Well, I mean, that's been a crypto that's been hit pretty hard. And I was kind of big on Polkadot. I actually owned it when they had all those big Fortune 500 companies buy in. And it was actually kind of outperforming everything. And then they did that whole rebrand and whatnot. And this was back, oh crap, when was this? This was way back when. I believe Polkadot was, or you know what? I'm thinking of something else. But Polkadot, no, I'm thinking about, I got my purples confused. I was thinking of Polygon. Yeah, looking back their all-time chart, boy, does that look bad. They were over $55. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Good crypto, great tech, but just they lost it somehow along the way. One crypto though, well, thanks all you guys for tuning in, by the way. And obviously, if you are new to my channel, I would appreciate if you subscribe. One crypto though that I'm kind of playing, this is kind of, obviously not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell crypto, but this is the one crypto in the world of RWAs that I think is severely, severely undervalued. I'm a big believer in Chainlink, and Chainlink right now, as we look at it, $12.89. And back there in April or in August and even April a little bit, you could have got Chainlink at or below $10, which is just absolutely fascinating. Even right where we're at right now at $12.90. I mean, Chainlink is one of those cryptos that I think can outperform the market if they ever got back up to $50. I think that's something that definitely could happen. For me, it's kind of where I look for, like a $35 chain link. I think that's kind of the more local expectation if we were going to talk kind of bull scenarios. But chain link for me, that's one that I definitely have that I wish I have more of. I'll just say that. Watching on X, guys. If you are watching on X, make sure you give me a follow. Appreciate you all. Just going to highlight some of you guys. 117 people tuned in on X. We are live. I do have that link tagged in the YouTube comment box. If you guys want to start trading on BTCC, take advantage of that deposit bonus. Click that link if you guys want. Check it out for yourselves and start trading today if it's right for you where you're located. I know a lot of people don't trade futures, but that does offer leverage and spot trading. Yeah, definitely bullish on Chainlink though. That's something I just, quite frankly, I don't understand why it ever got this low. If anybody has that inspiration, please let me know. But yeah, so this will be an interesting one to follow. We'll see kind of how this shakes out. Maybe go live tomorrow, talk about it some more. But I'm going to sign off right now. We went live for an hour, kind of just caught you guys up with the news, information. We'll see kind of how the bubbles shape up. Right now, in the last hour, we are starting to flash green, so that's a good sign. But on the day, we're still down. A lot of crypto got affected today. So kind of where we're at. We'll see kind of how the markets react tomorrow. We will be live. There will be videos out tomorrow. So for those of you that do watch every single day, I do appreciate you. Make sure you follow on X, follow on YouTube. I appreciate you all. And enjoy the rest of the evening. And we'll see you guys all in the next video. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.